is Lily Lovebraids. We saw her as just another enemy in Chapter 5, but do you really know her terrible story? She lived a life filled with unimaginable suffering, not only while she was alive, but even after being turned into a toy. Let's see why Lily Lovebraids is an experiment who earned her own suffering. To begin with, Lily's case is very special. She wasn't an orphan, nor was she just another random scientist. In fact, she wasn't even originally created by Playtime Co. Before the Lily we see in Chapter 5 existed, there was the normal Lily Lovebraids toy. Playtime Co. had already created her as a commercial doll back when the company was still operating normally. She was designed so girls could braid her hair, play dress up, and have tea parties. When the Bigger Bodies initiative began, Playtime Co. decided to include Lily in the project as well. That's when she stopped being just a doll and officially became Experiment 1468. And she wasn't just any experiment. The idea was that her hair wouldn't just be part of the design, it'll function like extra arms. In other words, she could move her braids, grab objects, and they would be extremely strong and very long. But that didn't come easily. The scientists had to try multiple times before they achieved the version that worked the way they wanted. To create that special hair, they used a mixture of horsehair, grafted finger bones, and other durable biological materials so it could truly move. At that point, they were only waiting for the perfect test subject for the final experiment. But then a major problem occurred. Before they could secure one, the hour of joy happened. What they didn't realize is that they had the perfect subject right in front of their faces this entire time. Counselor Gracie Green. Her role at Playtime Co. was to condition the orphans before and after they were turned into toys. She essentially brainwashed them. She used projections to accomplish this, tapes in which she herself was the main figure. She would say things like, "Being a toy is the best thing in the world. You've always been a toy," and other deeply disturbing lines. The orphans would spend hours and hours watching these videos every single day, until they reached the point of forgetting who they really were. All for one purpose: to prepare them to be turned into toys. After that, the reconditioning would continue. Her face became permanently engraved in the minds of the experiments, and at times, she could be very cruel to some of them, putting them through tests that broke them psychologically. During the chaos of the Hour of Joy, Gracie Green was captured and abducted by Kicking Chicken, Hoppy Hopscotch, and Baba Chops.
Baba, I was just trying to make you all happy. I wasn't. Please, don't hurt me!
We're not gonna hurt you, Miss Gracie. We have something very special planned for you.
They didn't kill her like the others. They had something very special prepared for her. The perfect revenge. The prototype knew exactly how to make her pay for all the suffering she had caused. She was immediately taken to the reconditioning rooms, and her transformation into a toy began. She was subjected to the exact same type of mental conditioning she had overseen in the Bigger Bodies children. The very same projections she appeared in were used to brainwash her, forcing her to confront the fact that she wasn't just a counselor, but also a monster. At first, Gracie resisted as much as she could. She refused to accept the reconditioning. But as the days passed, her mind slowly began to deteriorate. She was constantly monitored by the prototype and other experiments, until she began forgetting who she was.
Miss Gracie. Dear Miss Gracie. You have a first name, what was it? What are we talking about, Miss Gracie? Is this another lesson? Just ignore her. She's not real. It's only you here. Just you.
Aren't I real, Miss Gracie? Miss Gracie says I'm real. I
am Miss Gracie.
It reached the point where she watched the tapes and no longer recognized herself. And after 122 long days, her mind completely collapsed.
My hands, plastic, my face. I thought, How embarrassing! I can't believe I thought you were actually in the room, Miss Gracie!
And a toy, Miss Gracie.
I'm a good toy. I promise.
She became the mind of Lily Lovebraids, or as the prototype named her, Silly Lily. All that remained was her body. Normally, during the surgeries performed on the orphans, anesthesia was used to prevent pain or even to stop the children from dying due to extreme suffering. But in Lily's case, that wasn't how it went. Gracie remained conscious and without anesthesia throughout the entire procedure. The surgery was conducted by the prototype himself, who made sure Gracie wouldn't die from the unbearable pain, possibly using a combination of electric shocks and regenerative gel. After that, Lily didn't just lose her identity, her personality split in two. One part became Lily Lovebraids, the other manifested as an imaginary friend, represented by the head of a candy cat toy. In other words, the prototype didn't just destroy her mind, he split it in half. What's even more disturbing is that after transferring her consciousness into the toy, the prototype decided to keep Gracie's human body and gift it to Lily, so she could watch it slowly rot in her own bed. Over time, Lily became part of the prototype's team, only for her punishment to continue in the worst possible way. Because, despite that, the prototype never treated her like an ally. To continue torturing her, he decided to isolate her, leaving her alone with the bare minimum amount of food and water for 410 days. After that, the prototype placed her inside a doll mansion located in the Sweet Street Laboratories, one of the deepest and most isolated areas of the factory, just to completely isolate her from everyone else, leaving her alone with her dolls and imaginary friend. Lily was so psychologically broken by the prototype that she developed a terrifying fear of them. In one of her fits of madness, she even broke a window in the doll house, but instead of leaving it shattered, she covered it with her favorite poster, afraid that the prototype would get angry and punish her even more. So, despite losing her identity, watching her own corpse decay, and being left completely alone, the prototype never stopped her punishment. After Poppy's entire plan failed, Lily managed to capture her along with Kissy. She kept them imprisoned until Player arrived. The darkest part is that Lily's mind is so shattered that she sees everyone as toys, and all she wants to do is play. Unfortunately, her encounter with Player likely didn't end well for her. It's very possible she died during her fall. And that's how the counselor who once helped conditioned children ended up trapped inside her own doll prison. So come on, many people feel some pity for what Gracie Green went through. But if you really think about it, she deserved that punishment. When she helped brainwash children, she was completely happy, and she even forced poor Huggy Wuggy to kill his friends by throwing them into the grinder box. Yeah, she was a monster. And that's all we know so far based on what Chapter 5 showed us. Who knows what other terrible things she did inside Playtime Co. So tell me, what do you think about Lily Lovebraids' story? And do you already know the prototype's full story? Because we have a video explaining it. We'll be reading your thoughts in the comments.